He had it all: money, status, recognition. In his 30s, Tom DeLonge, musician, composer, businessman, vocalist, and founder of the famous American pop-punk band Blink-182, had become, along with the rest of the band, one of the most famous people in the United States. The group had sold millions of records and gained thousands of fans across the country. However, in what we could certainly call an unexpected turn of events, Tom DeLonge parted ways with the band in 2015 to devote himself almost entirely to that activity that has captivated and thrilled him since he was a little boy: UFO and alien hunting, a hobby he took very seriously. Founding To the Stars Academy in 2017, a company dedicated to both entertainment and the dissemination and investigation of the UFO phenomenon, certain branches of the speculative sciences, and the possibility of extraterrestrial life or contact in our world. Many thought that DeLonge had gone crazy. But how else can you explain someone as successful as him would leave everything he knows to start a project of this nature? And what if DeLonge's eagerness was due more to absolute certainty than to unfounded imagination? What if he had compelling reasons to think and believe in it? Mankind has always looked to the skies for meaning, but as our yearning for knowledge has reached farther into the depths of space, the search becomes for the answer to the question, are we alone? If you seek the truth, like, subscribe, click the bell icon, join us. This is what the world needs. This is disclosure. The public existence of some kind of culture or society hidden from our eyes, a culture of cosmic and interstellar origins, has awakened for many years the expectation, interest, and curiosity of all our societies. Every year, hundreds of sightings of anomalous bodies flying through the sky, space dwellers, and abductions come to our knowledge through social networks, television, and sometimes from people we know. Spurred by curiosity, groups of people gather with the intention of contacting or sending messages to beings from outer space. Skeptics are fewer and fewer, and the numbers are increasing. For a long time, the subject of UFOs has been considered a taboo, a social stigma, and has reached the point of being projected as a joke, a caricature that nobody, or almost nobody, wants to be like. But the numbers are growing. Statistics reveal an increase in the number of sightings and enigmatic aerial phenomena year after year, and we ask ourselves, what if these were not just unfounded suspicions? What if it were not just a bunch of crazy people, but rather focused and educated people? What if there were more proof that we are not alone in this universe, and perhaps not even on this planet? True or not, the testimonies can be more easily labeled as false or exaggerations. After all, any of us can make up a colorful and imaginative story, but what if these efforts at disclosure came from someone recognized, famous, and therefore with more to lose before the media? What if we were also talking about a person who has dedicated half of his life to the study of these phenomena? Would we believe them more? Surely very few people imagine that the interest of the founder and vocalist of the iconic and legendary pop-punk and rock and roll band Blink-182 for UFOs and aliens was something beyond a hobby, from a simple hobby to dedicate free time to. With a song titled Aliens Exist as part of his album Enema of State in 1999, the composer and vocalist of Blink-182 already gave slight signs of his interest towards everything related to the subject of UFOs and life beyond our planet. Even so, no one imagined that DeLonge would leave music aside to devote himself completely to what was, since always his true passion, ufology. In 2017, the musician founded together with Harold E. Putoff To the Stars Academy, a heterogeneous and unique enterprise designed with the aim of gradually presenting to today's world and youth secrets of our world and how it has been, in his opinion, influenced by a culture beyond our universe. To the Stars began as a record label, extending a year later to the publication of books and graphic novels for young people and children. Among some of the former vocalist's works are several titles written in collaboration with best-selling authors, the vast majority, if not absolutely all, related to ufology, science fiction, and supernatural themes. To skeptics, it might seem that the Blink-182 founder's interest in UFOs and mystery is nothing more than the classic childish whimsy of superstars, but is it really the case? Upon closer examination, DeLonge's actions do not seem to indicate so. Rather than an impulsive decision, the entrepreneur's career and his transition from music to business, outreach, and ufology express all the characteristics of a consciously executed and well thought out plan. Tom, whose interest in any interstellar culture or society dates back long before his career as a musician began, was already devouring books on UFOs, aliens, and similar mysteries during Blink-182's tours around the country, and within 2 full years of his introduction to the world of ufology, Delonge won the award for Best UFO Researcher, something that doesn't happen without a significant amount of commitment. Delonge is one of those convinced of the presence of something that hovers with redoubled interest in the Earth's atmosphere, and going even further, is part of the world we live in a deeper way than we dare to think. One of the main objectives of To the Stars is to gradually expose the subject of UFOs and normalize it in the eyes of society. And even if he was accused of being crazy or of making an unwise decision to leave the band that made him famous to devote himself 100% to his beliefs, Delonge is convinced that, in his own words, there is something wrong with the world. The former Blink-182 vocalist has said that, rather than thinking that there are aerial bodies from another world orbiting our planet, he is sure that whatever they are already here. The musician's theory, a theory that he defends and expresses with redoubled conviction and certainty, is that we are dealing with 2 different and opposing universes, with different physical laws, and where we could access by means of certain frequencies. Tom is sure that the inhabitants of this other reality or universe move to our planet, that they are able to communicate with us, and that in reality, governments know much more about this than they are willing to admit, and that they know truths that they dare not declare for fear of unleashing panic among the masses. And although Delonge's theory may sound absurd and far-fetched to many, the truth is that more and more people in the world share his views and suspect that whether it comes from a world beyond our own solar system, from a neighboring planet, or from some other universe, there is something that is being hidden from us, things that are not entirely clear. At the end of 2021, Tom uploaded to his Instagram an enigmatic photograph that, although fortunately saved by users and followers, was deleted shortly after from the social network without explanations of any kind. What could be in this photograph? What did the publication say? The post told the story of a man who, in the 1950s, was regularly visited by astronauts who claimed to have set bases throughout the solar system and to have contact with lost civilizations. The photograph, theoretically belonging to one of these visitors, was a humanoid-looking figure, albeit in a diffuse form, as if some kind of electromagnetic field surrounded him. The photo was deleted shortly after its publication, as if no one should know about it, and Delonge himself had repeatedly said that a part of himself fears knowing everything he knows, and that he has received calls warning him not to get into any stranger's car under any circumstances. As if that were not enough, the scientific and informative branch of To the Stars, focused, as we said, on research in the field of aerospace science, has gradually received support from a prodigious selection of professionals with not inconsiderable backgrounds. Among its ranks are former CIA agents, members of the Department of Defense, aerospace engineers, and other experts with similar backgrounds. Delonge's team has even developed particular contracts with the U.S. military for research on certain metal of non-human origin and has had exclusive access to classified information on these subjects at one time or another. Tom Delonge considers this mission to divulge and share with the whole world his story and experiences, as well as his vision of the world and reality, a sort of legendary crusade. The great mission to push humanity towards an awakening. To get our society to keep an open mind, sharing the information they have at their fingertips, as well as what they are surely allowed to share openly, and to prepare for the revelations that are to come and the changes that will come with them. Our world is constantly changing. Since its earliest beginnings, our species and the many civilizations we have seen and brought into being have experienced firsthand how their world changes drastically, often in a matter of seconds. For centuries, mankind has been confronted with inexplicable mysteries and enigmas that religion, logic, and sometimes even science itself cannot explain. Nowadays, with the technological boom and the power of the internet to disseminate information in a matter of seconds, the world changes at an ever-increasing speed, making it impossible to silence the voices of all those people who, either by intuition or experience, notice that there is something in us that seems to be missing, like a hole in a puzzle. Like a missing piece to see the whole picture, or at least get a better perspective. When folks like Tom DeLonge or Elon Musk use their power, resources, and efforts to make us look to the skies, we get a better picture of not only our universe in all its splendor, but also our place in it, along with whomever we're sharing it with. If you agree, like and subscribe to our channel so we can marvel at these mysteries together.